Hello, welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for checking this out. Uh, Trucking Tendencies. I'm a 36-year-old truck driver, and things are pretty wild. 2025. Um, there's a decrease in uh, English proficiency drivers that is currently happening, and also an increase because of AI taking out jobs, and there's no jobs. It's kind of like a weird balance. Uh, But this is how me got into trucking, how I got into trucking, how I got my license. Um, for a viewer, for support, just to show some background. And it wasn't a dream. It was more of a landed in my lap type of deal. If because my dad was a truck driver, right? My uh, my dad was a truck driver for how many years? I don't know, 14, 15 years, I think. I should ask him. But he was originally in the catering business, which is catering those lunch trucks, and they had the foldable doors on the side of the truck, the larger ones. They have like two doors on the side, and they have a kitchen inside, and the cook, and they drive around in it. And that's what he was in. But then he got out of it. Um, Never really broke down why or asked why, but he did. He got away from it because he got my mom into it, and he got into trucking. And he got into trucking, and then he hit the road, and um, I, he was a, he is kind of like um, very isolated. Like a lot of men are very isolated and like to keep themselves and be private and have a, not a very social life. So it's kind of, if you fit certain things, if you have certain attributes, and you're a certain type of individual, you could be very successful. If you like isolation, you could be successful. But also, if you like, being involved with human communication, constantly, like in the workplace, workforce, um, you can also be a successful truck driver. There's definitely LTL positions like here. I'm delivering at Keith Ben E Keith, and I think they do local deliveries, food deliveries. But yeah, you have constant communication with receivers and shippers like that. So, but how I started was the stepping stone. I'm gonna start right at when I got my permit. I got my permit. There's a couple of ways that you can go about getting your license, and I think I did it the easiest, cheapest way because I had a family member in it, and I got trained by him for about 5 months or 6 months, and then I went with my brother, which was already in there. He got into trucking before me, and he was at about, I want to say, how long before he started truck driving I started driving? I don't know. I'm not sure. But he started truck driving before me. And I got my permit, and I started training with them. And then up till the point where I had to get the license, where my permit was about to expire, I got into a school. And the cheapest way would be that is to come with some sort of knowledge of how to operate a tractor trailer, but you just need the schooling. So I got the answers for the test. Or did I? I think I got the answers and I got the permit, and then I had a unlimited hours, unlimited amount of time at the school to train on a little truck and trailer just like this. I think it was a little older truck, obviously, but 2012 with the smaller trailer, and they gave me, well, they gave my dad a discount. It was a discount for I don't know, think it was like 1,500 bucks to actually get the license, to get the time window inside of the parking lot, so I can train with someone to do the basic maneuvers: straight line back, alley dog, parallel park, and driving, on the highway. And then from there, it was pretty basic. It was around October 2012. I landed my, um, or they took everybody to the DMV, and the DMV took. I was fairly quick. I was, not to brag, but I studied and I kept studying and practicing until I nailed it, and practicing it back and forward and backwards and forwards. The best way to train with anything, I believe, is memorizing anything, especially with the book. Was a lady from the school. She's like, "Well, read it once or twice, and then try to remember it verbatim, word for word, without looking at it. Try doing that. Always try doing that. So you memorize it, because you have to go through the entire process of in-cab inspection, all your functions and your meters working to the outside of your truck and walking around the truck. And it was that's the best way. But the second best way would be um, going to, like, I believe, a community college. If you're in a smaller town, a community college should have some sort of opportunity where you can sign up, because I've seen people talking about it, where they have people um, going to community colleges and learning how to operate a truck and trailer. They have school and courses for you to learn to get your license. So that'd be, if I was somebody watching starting barely out right now, I would definitely do it if you're that kind of individual. So that would be the second way, the second cheapest way to get your license. And the third way, if you don't have any of those first two options, would be going to a large corporation and explaining to them that, well, they offer them. The biggest ones always offer it, like, hey, we're going to train you. But I would take heed, and I would be aware of what the what the contract says. Like, how long do you really have to be there? If you have to be there for like 2 years, that's crazy. I wouldn't recommend that move. I would say, like, maybe like 6 months to a year max, staying with a company, because in those first 3 to 6 months that you're driving by yourself after you get released on the road, you're gonna figure it out if you like that position, if you like that work, if you don't like that work, this line of work, and you'll get out right away. So, and that'll be saving you the most amount of money to get your CDL. And I definitely believe it's a good time. I always think it's a good time, because if you go look back in history, the amount of people that have their license, or transport, the world of transportation is so old, back to the wagon, but at the same time we're pushing towards this this uh this situation where we have AI and self-automated trucks. The self-automated vehicles are definitely coming. If they've already placed or hooked up a computer into one of these fighter jets, and they outperformed the human being in maneuvering and flying a fighter jet. So you think that you can not do the same thing with a truck? A truck is pretty much, it's easier. It's just the variables are different. Obviously, you're dealing with a lot more people on the road instead of being in the sky. In the sky, you're just dealing with, up all your axes, what, X, Y, Z, I don't know that, you can do all kinds of things, right? But on the road, you can only go forward, backwards, side to side, obviously up and down hills, um, but you're dealing with massive traffic. So the writing is on the wall. I know, um, for sure. Get specialized, get your license, get specialized in tankers, into oversized, into car hauling, something more specialized than the regular dry freight bulk, because what's happening is with the English proficiency situation is isn't gonna completely mask is it's like a band-aid to the what's coming, you know. It's slowly getting degraded. I can imagine. I already got a green light. That's gonna be a wrap for me. But that's how I got into trucking. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I don't know about doing. I want to do live streams with this Pocket 3, but something's happening. It doesn't let me, and it's not connecting. Other people are having the same issue. But thanks for watching. Thanks for the support, and keep on trucking.